3 marriages, 3 affairs, and 1 Reddit post away from total disaster.
死んでいる。
I found out my husband of 15 years has been cheating our entire relationship. I hate this already. I'm coming here to share my story in hopes that someone can give me some guidance on how to breathe through this. I have been married to my best friend and a partner in all things for 15 years. We have had a great marriage. He has been kind, supportive, attentive, affectionate, and truly everything I could ask for and wanted in a husband. We spent so much time together, talk all the times, and had great giggity giggity goo. I love him with everything that I have, and we spent so much time together, talk all the time, and had great schmucking, sex time. I love him with everything that I am, and it's the first time I've ever had that. This weekend, I went to visit him in New York since he has been traveling for work. He was still working while I was there, but we were going to spend that evening together. While he was at work on Saturday, I picked up an old iPad oh my God, that he watches movies on when he's traveling for work. It's always either the phone, laptops, emails, iPads. I wasn't snooping or trying to find anything because I genuinely trusted him 100%. I saw some old photos from a couple of years and I started scrolling through things to take a trip down memory lane. I realized that a lot of the photos were from old texts that I had sent him, so I hooped over the texts just to read through some more. It didn't take long before I saw some old messages from some, street workers. I was clear that the iPad had mostly been scrubbed, but he had forgotten to delete a 6-month timeframe from 2022 to 2023. Reading through that timeframe, I found 20 messages setting up appointments with young Asian street workers. Oh my God. In different cities all over the country. Not only is hurtful that she's finding out that after 15 years of marriage, he has been, having intercourse with other, street workers from different cities. And God knows if he ever used protection or not. And even with that, that doesn't protect you from getting an STI. But anyways, even when he was at home, I took a screenshot of one of the texts and sent it to him. He didn't reply. He just left work and came to the room. I knew the minute I saw his face, but there was no rationalizing any of this. He came clean right away, told me it was something he had been doing this whole adult life for over 30 years. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. By the time he met me, it was a fully ingrained secret part of his life, that thing he did. Like it was something completely separate from our life and marriage. He says that in his mind, it is completely separate and had nothing to do with me or our marriage. Oh my, the audacity of some guys or men's, like it has everything to do with your marriage. You can pass an STI to that person and really get them sick, and on top of that you are lying to your spouse, the ones that you're supposed to have a strong relationship, a trusted relationship for a long term or a long period of time, and you are thinking that this is just some like PlayStation game or something. No, it is your relationship. What the heck? Come to find out that he slept approximately 150 young Asian street workers during our marriage. What the he said there was times when he will go a long time, up to a year, without doing it, and that he truly wanted to stop, but once the compulsion hit him, it wouldn't go away until he came. So this person really has a serious issue when it comes to, intercourse addiction or seeking that. From this particular ethnicity group, he clearly needs to look for help. This is not normal. He was, of course, very upset and wants to do whatever he can to make it work if I'm open to it. If you're open to what? 150 that he knows of? Also, first of all, how do you know the number? Like, do you keep body counts or something? I'm mortified. Personally, I wouldn't give him another chance, but let's see what OP does. I left New York right away and came back home, and he stayed for work because I told him to. I'm completely shattered. I can breathe, I can sleep, I can eat. I can stop picturing him with those women. And once the trust is broken, it's very hard to get it back. I can stop reading the text over and over again. I'm stuck, I'm having panic attacks. I feel like I'm not real. I feel worthless. It's about as sad as it can get for me emotionally. I genuinely will be easier for me if I had turned out to be a damn serial killer instead of this. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. I can imagine spending 15 years with someone and then just a random Tuesday learn about this. We have a blended family. 5 boys between the age of 19 and 26. When I came home early, I was not able to hold it together. I wish I had been able to, but I was not. So I told them what happened in hindsight that was probably a bad move. The reason I'm here is because I always thought that cheating will be an instant deal breaker for me and that I will hate that person immediately. But for whatever unknown reason, I still love him. And here's the thing, like as someone that has been in a relationship that also was cheated on, when you really love a person, at least for me, took quite some time for me to fall out of love, to finally get out of that relationship. And we were on and off, on and off, on and off. Because you're going through all this turmoil and all these feelings and emotions and all that. And it's really difficult to know how to navigate it in a healthy way for some people. For others, of course, it's easier. But we're talking that Opie has been with this person for 15 years. They clearly have a family. So of course, it's gonna be hard. I keep thinking that maybe there's a way to work it out. And that doesn't make sense. He betrayed me in the worst way that he ever could for someone like me. I have replayed all the conversations and all the lies over and over again, trying to make the hate calm, and it just won't. I actually feel empathy for him. Oh, that's interesting. Well, my therapist would say in this situation, you are saying that you feel empathy for him. Perhaps you're kind of like understanding that there's a little bit more of a deeper rooted problem that he has, and you're giving him that empathy. But you also need to remember that that same empathy needs to be given to yourself. I don't know how to get through this. The emotional pain right now is bigger than me. It's too much. Of course, my whole family now hates him, and every single one of them is adamant that there is an option but divorce. And logically, I know they're probably right, but emotionally, I can't breathe when I think of him not being in my life. Why am I so weak? What the hell happened to my self respect? I've always been an exceptional, emotional, strong person. This has destroyed me. I don't even feel like I'm real. I haven't looked in the mirror since Saturday, because if I do, I'll see is the woman whose husband slept with over 150 other women, and I still can hate him. I still want to talk to him all the time. What do you do when a person who always made everything better is the one that hurts you more than anyone ever has? I now find myself wondering if it will be possible to keep him in my life as a friend. And that's the thing, like I said, it's gonna take some time. If you ended up going through the route of divorce, it's gonna end up taking some time. Of course, that's something that you at that moment you were just processing, and there's a lot of self-doubt. Obviously, sometimes you blame yourself, but just understand that one person's decision should not be attached to your self-worth or your value. It has everything to do with how they feel with themselves and their core values. So, yes, it may take some time for you to fall out of love, but I think it will be possible if you ended up going through the route of divorce. If you can and you have the resources, please talk to a professional, to talk to a therapist, because they definitely have the tools to help you navigate this process better or more efficiently. This was a juicy one. Let's see some of the few comments that we have underneath this. Hi, OP. I think what you're feeling and thinking and experiencing is normal. Love doesn't just disappear because someone cheats, behaves badly, etc. Exactly. It makes sense that you still love him and feel attached and wish desperately that this was not happening. It makes sense that you're hoping desperately for some way to make this work. Our brains try to dissociate in so many different ways. It's hard to see things clearly, especially right now. And I completely agree. I remember that when it happened to me, I felt like it was like walking all the time underneath this huge dark cloud, and all the energy was like literally like sucked out of me. Like I felt like I was just in autopilot. I couldn't cry anymore at some point, and I felt like literally like a zombie. However, I should warn you, I don't think you want a person like him as a friend. My estranged husband floated the idea, I still want you in my life. I hope we can still be friends. With friends like him, who needs an enemy? True. We're talking about 15 years. Like, you have a lot of memories, a lot of experiences, laugh, happy moments, sad moments. It's a lot to cope with just like out of the blue. My fiance has destroyed me and ruined 10 years of my life. My fiance, Sarah, 27, broke off the wedding on February 28th after coming home from her rotation job. We were together for 10 years. As recently as January, we discussed eloping and getting married as soon as April, May, before we eventually decided on November. So it was an unbelievable blindside when she came home and said she didn't want to marry me anymore just a month later. I think she may have met someone else, but let's see. It didn't make sense. She told me she's been feeling lonely in the relationship, and the thoughts came unexpectedly when at some point she realized she loved me so much but wasn't in love with me anymore. She needed me to let her go. How long has this been happening? Let's normalize talking with our partners when we feel that our emotions in the relationship are fading away, because it happens. It's normal that at some point in the relationships it gets kind of like stagnant or a little bit boring. So let's normalize talking through those stages. It caught me, hurt me so much, but I needed to respect her decision, as painful as it was. Like I said, Sarah has been doing rotations for work for 5 years. For a long time, it was 2 weeks gone and 2 weeks home. But last year, it's been 3 weeks gone and 1 week home. Okay. It's been extremely hard and lonely, but I did it because I was so devoted to her and our future. I waited so long and celebrated so many birthdays on my own. Oh no. I'm so sorry. That must be hard, like being in a relationship and being lonely at the same time. Over the past 3 months and a half, I've been heartbroken and angry and sad. All the natural responses to a long term relationship ending. I saw no future besides one she was in, dreamed of growing old and having our beautiful children together. But over that span, I was starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, started to see that I could move on and heal. Hopefully she didn't came back. Everything changed 3 days ago. I got a message from a woman I didn't know on Facebook. Her name is Alicia. Alicia asked me if I was with Sarah. I told her we split unexpectedly, and then she told me everything. For months, Sarah has been having an affair. I knew it. I called it. I knew it. Sarah has been having an affair with Alicia's husband. They are co-workers. For the past months, while I was home all alone, just waiting for my Sarah to come home to me, she was, banging another man. Alicia and her husband Taylor have been married for 15 years and have 4 kids together. The day that Sarah came home and broke up with me, February 28th, is the same day that Taylor came home and split up with his wife. Alicia blamed herself and was so confused how things could have changed so quickly, just like I was, until Alicia finally got it out of Taylor that he had been having an affair. He told her everything, supposedly. It wasn't one time drunk mistake. They had slept together many times. Over the past month, while Sarah was calling me and texting and saying, I love you, and we share our life, she was sleeping with another man. I wish I could tell you I saw anything in her that could suggest she could possibly do something like this. Never in a million years. I loved her with everything I had, and she loved me, and there was so much happiness and beauty. She freaking destroyed me with this. I didn't think a pain this deep could possibly exist. I finally confronted Sarah over message last night and told her I knew. It was the hardest conversation I ever had. She was so sorry she hurt me. She's sorry now because she got caught. I told her how much pain she caused me. I hate her with every fiber in my being and will until the day I die. Ugh. Sometimes this is how good men go and turn out to be not such a nice man to the next person they date. She's a cruel, terrible person, a disgusting homewrecker who ruined two families. Those poor kids, that poor woman. Sarah's a terrible human being. Before I knew about the affair, I had hope I could at least eventually look back on the 10 years we spent together with fondness. All the happiness and adventures and memories. I'll be sad it ended, but glad it happened. Now it's all ruined. 10 years of my life ruined because I wouldn't be able to think about any of the good times without thinking about what it led to and what she did to me. That's what she stole from me. I kept thinking about them together physically cuts my fucking soul. Thinking about how he would have touched her, how she touched him, etc. Clearly, OP, it's very hurt. There were 10 years of a relationship. There were no signs for him, or at least evident signs for him. And it's very difficult to look for those fun times or fun memories when the relationship has been all of a sudden clouded with such outcome, because then you start questioning like what this person told me this day, was it real? Was this person really in love with me? When they say I love you, was that real? And all those little things start playing over and over in your head, and it really puts a lot of self-doubt, and it can really make you feel like you don't deserve love, or like nobody will love you. Like I said, for this first one, I hope OP was able to perhaps get some counseling and really go through this and process all this. This was a year ago. Someone said, it's hard to believe it now, but consider this as a blessing in disguise. What if this happened after you got married and had kids together, like Alicia's situation? You have learned a painful lesson and wasted 10 years of your life with someone you thought was the love of your life. See a therapist ASAP to heal yourself first. Get all resentment and anger out of your system. That's very important so that you don't put it on the next one. It's time to focus on your mental health so you can move on and live a better life in the future. Time and karma will take care of X and her AP. Their chances of success is less than 2%, and that's very true too. There's statistics out there that go over people, homewreckers, relationship, and how long they last, and there's a very low chance that they will continue together. Sarah is a cheater and she had an affair with a cheater. Two cheaters will eventually break up. Probably they will do the same to each other because one will eventually cheat on one another. Your best revenge is to learn that long distance relationships usually do not work and to lead your best life. Go to the gym, focus on your job, and improve your education and finances. Absolutely. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Wife stepped out and blew out our family. I've leaned on a good number of posts here to help myself with what I'm going through, so I thought I will share my story I'm currently living. My wife stepped out in September of 2023 while on business trip with a co-worker. The wife of my wife's AP discovered a hickey on her husband's after he returned home from the trip. He shared all the details with his wife. His wife tried getting a hold of me but couldn't get a hold of me for 3 months. Finally, she was able to get a hold of me through her husband's LinkedIn. Turns out my wife on her way back from the work trip logged into my social media and blocked the wife so she couldn't contact me. Oh my god. What a piece of devil. My wife denied for a few months. I was naive enough to believe her, but eventually it was too much. There was just too much evidence. It was actually her birthday last spring that I demanded to know what happened. She didn't really admit it though. I shared the details that the other wife of her AP had shared with me, and my wife just nodded immediately. 2024 was rough. He had a ton of good times, but it was also very, very bitter. My wife never apologized and tried to bury it and sweep it under the rug. Remember, once a cheater, always a cheater. In hindsight, I should have demanded marriage therapy or what? I myself couldn't handle it and started seeing a therapist myself last October. Okay, good. Last June, she had a meeting in another city. I asked my wife if her AP would be there, and she responded no. She admitted upon return that he was there unexpectedly. She knew he was gonna be there, but they didn't talk. No, they did. Throughout 2024, I asked 4 or 5 people if she was still talking to her AP. She gave unequivocally no answers every time. Fast forward to December 24, she randomly says I should book a trip to anywhere I want. Interesting. Red flags go up immediately. I asked what she's going to do, and she responded that she's just going to see her best friend. I know something is up. I asked her directly if she's going to see her AP. She admits a week before Christmas that she's going to spend New Year's with him from that Saturday through Wednesday. Mind you, we have a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old. Oh my god. What is going on out there? If you want to have an open marriage, why you don't talk with your partner? If your partner says no and you still want to stay in the marriage, go to counseling. If that doesn't work, leave your partner. People in these stories have been so unfair. So I was a completely fine wreck all Christmas, but it held it together in front of those kids. In January, I pulled phone records. It had never occurred to me to do that. I could only go back 6 billing periods. So last few days of June 2024 through January, they have been texting the whole time. Hundreds of texts every month while we were together as a family, while I was watching our kids, etc. Fast forward again, I filed for Yes! I filed for divorce in early February. My wife and her AP still spend weekends together. We still live together and she acts like she cares about me very much, but actions are louder than words. There's no remorse. She wants to have a family dinners once a week after we divorce, and she wants me to find someone great. People keep asking if the wife of the AP knows of the affair. She was the one who found out and contacted me. She has also filed for divorce.
Yeah, boy.
Again, once a cheater, always a cheater. Hope you're looking for therapy. Hope your relationship with your kids is still pretty solid. That was it for today. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe because that helps your unemployed bestie a lot. And see you next time. Bye.